had written down the name of his sign maker for her. The sign bore the shop's name, Book Fiend, at the top in the same angular Gothic script that was painted on the facade above the doors. Below it was chalkboard. She had no time today to find a new quote, so she left yesterday's chalked on it. A book must be the axe for the frozen sea within us. Kafka. Bit esoteric, maybe, but what the hell? There were plenty of pretentious gits up this end of town to appreciate it. And it was her shop, after all. She looked fondly back at it, its windows flung outward like beckoning arms. Her first order of business, when she'd opened, had been to make the shop welcoming, and she figured she'd nailed it. Behind the front windows, the first third of floor space was open plan, full of display islands radiating outwards from the central front table, her pride and joy. The back two-thirds contained library-style stacks for the second-hand stuff. That had been another must, selling second-hand alongside new. It had allowed for the kind of serendipity she just couldn't get in choosing stock from catalogues alone, and it gave her customers that sense of infinite possibility, that thrill of treasures lying maybe just around the next dusty corner, or perhaps the one after that. You only ever got that in a second-hand bookstore. Among the stacks were scattered armchairs, mismatched, squashy things, with lamps hanging obligingly over them and tiny wooden coffee tables beside them, functioning as rest stops for browsers, and also for Cait to put things on while she was stocking shelves. She never had enough hands. Though by now she did have a ninja-like ability to sense when a book was about to fall off a shelf and to catch it on its way down. Annoyingly, this skill did not carry over into any other environment. She'd need to think of another party trick, should she ever again have the misfortune to find herself at a party. Surrounding it all, lining the walls, were floor-to-ceiling shelves, whitewashed and crammed with the new stock, all crisp and shiny and sweet-smelling. They might not have the chancy mystery of the pre-loved, but then the old ones could never bring this sense of pure, white-paged, black-inked newness, the latest releases stacked 10 deep, their very abundance suggesting they must be the next big thing. The upper levels around the walls were reached with rolling ladders mounted on tracks, so Cait and her customers could push them wherever necessary. It was essentially the dream library Cait would never be able to afford at home, made flesh in a Hay Street shopfront. Today, Cait's own flesh was hot. Already. The aircon had been struggling lately, not helped by Cait insisting on leaving the windows open. She should ask Seb to climb up and have a look at the filters. Where the hell was he, anyway? She went to sort out the till, wiping the trolley dust from her hands onto her jeans. She'd jettisoned her usual top-to-toe blacks in honor of the weekend. Today it was blue jeans, once white tennis shoes, and a loud red singlet that clashed violently with her hair, a mane of wiry copper usually twisted into a knot for practical purposes. But today let run riot in a what-the-hell mess. That was the nice thing about the mobile clients. Old people tended to think you beautiful just because you were young and able-bodied, and around them it was easier to appreciate that yourself. There was plenty Cait loved about Book Fiend's location, but the place did little for the self-esteem, being awash each day with coiffed young office ladies whose YouTube-enabled hairdos, held in place by invisible means, were as finely crafted as the tall, takeaway lattes they clutched as they stalked about the shop on their lunch breaks. The daily parade of the well-dressed never failed to make her feel as though she should make more of an effort, but thankfully the feeling was usually fleeting, and today entirely absent. Cait was about to focus on the till when finally Seb galloped up, trailing satchel, earphones, and ropey dreadlocks. Seb's stovepipe body, in black skinny jeans, topped by its shock of long dreads, always put Cait in mind of a young and vigorously growing